Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. Welcome to Speak of Africa, our show which we brought to you. Welcome to Speak of Africa. This is your show. We started this show because we wanted to give you a voice. And we thank our viewers and we thank our subscribers. What is the news like in Africa this week? Well, what we see in Africa is Project 2025. Project 2025 is more like a manifesto produced by the Heritage Foundation in the United States in 2023. Project 2025 was prepared with the expectation that Donald Trump is going to win the election. When he wins the election, they're going to pull Americans further right, away from the left, further right. And what's going to happen? Well, the Trump agenda is going to give more power to the executive branch, and power will be consolidated in the hands of the president. And that's just what they did. But you can see the fallout with this Project 2025. Donald Trump is already withdrawing a lot of aids, like US aid. Africans in the motherland depend on these services a lot. Now Donald Trump is withdrawing, shutting down a lot of the US aid services. So what's going to give? Things are going to be tough for our people. Donald Trump wants to make us feel like Africans are beggars. We Africans, we are not beggars. We are just not exploiting our opportunities. On this show, we've been preaching self-reliance. Our problem is, let's do the way Voltaire said in Candide, il faut cultiver notre jardin. Let us return to Africa and rebuild our motherland. There is nothing in America that we don't have in Africa. The problem in Africa is bad governance. Let us do our homework. Let us return. Our soil is rich with minerals, and the Western people covet these minerals. Look at the cell phone, Apple, and all these companies. They depend on us. Today, Congo DRC cannot find peace. The people are no longer at ease because America craves the minerals that are in resource-rich Congo DRC. America is using proxies like Paul Kagame to invade Congo so that they can loot the resources of this country. Paul Kagame is a war criminal supported by America. We look at people like Paul Kagame as the bed dog America uses to loot the resources of Africa. When we talk about a bed dog, those who are familiar with hunting, in America, if you're a hunter, when you shoot an animal or you shoot a bird, a dog will run and pick up that bird and bring to you. So that's why we call agents like Paul Kagame, Yoweri Museveni as America's bed dogs. Because in hunting, they are the ones who steal the resources and give to the Western world. These are sons and daughters of Africa, but they are agents of the West. That's what the show of today is about. Let's listen to what Louis Farrakhan, the minister of Nation of Islam, said. He is also preaching self-reliance, which is a philosophy we've been preaching on this show every week. Let's listen to Louis Farrakhan.
None of you can deny that what I'm saying is the truth. You know it's the truth. But either you won't write it, or you're too cowardly to speak it because you want some favor here or favor there. So because you can't talk, you are muzzled. I'm not. I'm a free black man. And I didn't come here looking for a handout. And I really don't think you need one. Your problem is that you think you need a handout. Everything you need is right under your foot, but you're looking everywhere else for help instead of to yourself and what you can produce for yourself. This is Africa's dilemma. You are parading yourself before the world as international beggars when you gave civilization to the world. Your problem is not America. Your problem is not Israel. Your problem is not Britain. Your problem is your disunity and your dependence on others to do for you what you could do for yourself. So I don't have to come back here anymore to help you. The help is already here. The knowledge is already here. The land is here. The sun is here. The water is here. The minerals are here. You have some of the finest minds in the world, but they're in Europe and they're in America making money while Africa suffers. Why don't we create politically stable environment and call the children of Africa back home to help build Africa? We are your children. And we will come and help. But don't expect us to come with billions of dollars when we don't have it. We're struggling in America. But you got it all right here under your foot. And you should be ashamed not to look to yourself, begging white folk to give you what you could give yourself. What I said today, which one of these countries is going to give you $20 million? America's not going to give you $20 million. You got it right here, but your disunity won't allow you to pool it. It's your fault, and you got to accept that responsibility. That is why my message is atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. We got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and see what is our responsibility.
Thanks for listening to Louis Farrakhan. So you can see now that what we need is self-reliance. We have the resources, but we should unite and try to exploit our own resources. We should defend our territory from these Western people, okay? If we don't do that, we allow them to continue stealing our stuff, then we'll cry, we'll run to America, we'll run to Europe in search of greener pastures. When we have the Garden of Eden in Africa, but we allow these Europeans to steal our stuff. These Europeans are thieves, they are thieves. We allow them to continue stealing. They steal our stuff because they are in bed, in cahoot with our own brothers, the elite, the political elite. That's how they're able to steal our stuff. To illustrate this concept, we're going to start with La République du Cameroon. The Western powers, America, France, they are the ones propping the Biya regime. The people of Ambazonia have been suffering, they have been complaining about marginalization for many years. Who is listening? They are not listening because they are benefiting from the dictatorship of the Biya regime. So they will not do anything against Paul Biya. We said this on the onset of the Ambazonia revolution. A lot of people were not listening. Don't be naive to think America will take action against Paul Biya. Why? America is benefiting from the largesse of Paul Biya. Cameroon is a Western plantation. Cameroon is a French plantation. So all the goods that are in that plantation are harvested and taken to America and France. They are the ones benefiting from these natural resources. Oil, timber. The West is benefiting from all this, and our people are getting nothing for the money. Which is why, even when you look at February 11 coming up, the youth of Cameroon are very, very despondent. They are not happy. The youth of Ambazonia are not happy because they know that what is February 11 about? It doesn't have any meaning for them. It is a day that makes them remember the past in anger. We have a video of some of the young people in La République du Cameroon, I mean people from the Francophone area. They are complaining about this Biya regime. Watch the video for a minute.
Combattant! Oh! Combattant! Oh! Ok, l'heure est arrivée. C'est-à-dire que le Cameroun n'est pas conçu pour faire les motos. Donc Camerounais n'est pas né pour faire la moto. Donc Camerounais est né pour aller à l'école. Après avoir fini l'école, il travaille. Nous ne pouvons pas être à Douala de 2018 à 2020. Il y a au moins 1 million de Camerounais. Paul Biya doit partir. partir. Il va partir.
Il va partir.
Il va partir.
Il va partir.
Ça va tout le monde. Tout le monde. Le combat, ce n'est pas pour moi, ce n'est pas pour vous, c'est pour nous tous.
C'est pour nous tous.
Le Cameroun, du nord, au sud,
à l'est,
à l'ouest. On va gagner.
Yeah.
On va gagner.
Il a promis les abeilles.
À Tanganji, le 22, nous allons manquer les abeilles. À Tanganji, le 22, nous allons manquer les abeilles.
C'est pour nous aussi. La guerre qu'il a promis là, c'est la guerre qu'il va donner. Je n'ai pas peur de quoi.
Je n'ai pas peur.
Il va en prison, mais la prison là-bas. Je lui mets même plus. Moi, j'ai attendu, je suis là. Tous les Camerounais dehors, c'est un problème national, c'est pas un problème du MSC. C'est qu'il y avait bouché présentement, on a plus peur. C'est les petits militaires, ils sont dehors, ils sont un peu de partout là. Ils se calment, on n'a pas peur d'eux. Ils sont obligés d'adhérer au peuple camerounais, ils sont là au service du peuple. Tu laisses ça.
Now, these guys are saying they are ready to face Atanganji with his militia. They are ready to die. And things are going to get terrible. It's the same way that people in Sosukam, a sugar company owned by the French, were maltreating laborers. They were not paying them. And when the people complain that we work in sugarcane farms night and day, they are not paying us. When we complain about wages, they start beating us. They send the police to beat and kill us. That's the BR regime for you. They kill you when you protest. In Koteng, that's where this sugarcane factory is located in Cameroon. So Cameroon illustrates the way most of these Western leaders corrupt our leaders in Africa. Paul Biya is an example. This guy cannot even walk. Yet, the Western powers do not want him to leave because he is le meilleur élève, the best student who can give them all they want. This student will steal everything from his own people and give to the West. That's why Africa is in trouble. That's why Africa is in chaos. Okay? That's why Africa is not developing. Because we have some of these bad apples who are stealing our resources and giving to the Western powers. Cameroon is not alone. Next, we'll take you to Congo DRC.
At AUK Tax Service, we understand taxes can be overwhelming. That's why we've been serving taxpayers and tax preparers nationwide since 1986. Why wait for your money? We guarantee fair and accurate tax returns with experienced professionals you can trust. We offer a range of services, including accounting, bookkeeping, and recording, payroll, insurance, and real estate, corporate and individual income tax preparation, tax planning and preparation. Are you a tax preparer or entrepreneur looking to boost your income? Partner with AUK Tax Service for a free, fast, and easy way to grow your business. AUK Tax Service is the ideal partner for check cashing stores, travel agencies, realtors, loan officers, and grocery stores. Facing IRS tax problems? Let AUK Tax Service provide expert assistance to resolve any issues quickly and efficiently. With over 3 decades of experience, AUK Tax Service has been trusted by clients nationwide. We are committed to delivering exceptional service and ensuring bigger refunds. We make tax preparation seamless for businesses like yours. Don't wait, get your fair share with AUK Tax Service. Contact us today and let us handle your taxes with care. Learn more at www.auktax.com. Visit one of our convenient office locations or call us today. Our offices are located in Maryland and Virginia. AUK Tax Service. Bigger refunds. Better service.
Which is the spotlight of the week. Last week, we mentioned to you that M23, a rebel group in Congo DRC, broke into Goma and killed over 3,000 people, injured thousands others, because they say, oh, they have been marginalized. That's a lie. The Tutsi have not been marginalized. The Tutsi are using Paul Kagame as a big brother. Paul Kagame wants to steal the resources of Congo DRC, so the only way he can do the loot are in Congo DRC. Most of them are in the east. When they steal these resources, when they steal these natural resources like coltan, cobalt, tantalum, they ship this stuff to Rwanda. Paul Kagame doesn't have natural resources, but he's selling blood minerals. Apple, for example, is buying these blood minerals, and Apple is using them on their phones. Apple is saying that, oh no, we don't trade in blood minerals. Well, we're just telling you the truth. All these Western companies are trading in blood minerals. The United Nations is very, very weak. The United Nations cannot even police this negative stuff going around in Congo DRC. M23, Mouvement du Mars 23 2009, they are just having a free reign. They are not just waging war in Congo DRC. They are supported physically by more than 4,000 Rwandan troops, well armed to the teeth. How would you believe that a rebel attack group will have sophisticated weapons that can neutralize the drones of Congo DRC? Because Paul Kagame is the darling of the West, the donor darling. They give him all the stuff. And you think the West is giving Paul Kagame stuff for nothing? No, it's not for free. In return for their kindness, Paul Kagame sells these stolen minerals to the West for pennies on the dollar. That's what is happening. Don't forget, Paul Kagame was trained here in the US. This is a guy who has been in the army. If you read his background, there's even a book titled Do Not Disturb by Michelle Wong. It tells you what kind of murderous dictator Paul Kagame is. He tries to deflect criticism by saying, oh no, the Rwandan forces are not in Congo DRC. Look at the root causes. The people are marginalized. No, this is just an excuse. When you look at Congo DRC and you see what the M23 is doing, the M23 is stealing resources night and day. They'll come to a place, take over that area, then they start mining all the minerals in that area. When they mine these minerals, they ship them straight to Rwanda. Then from Rwanda, they sell them in the international market. That's what M23 is doing. The United Nations is ineffective. They cannot really police these guys. This week, there has been a meeting of Eastern and South African states to try to sue for peace. Is a ceasefire going to hold? We think it's just temporary. Now, the M23 rebels are saying they want to meet Felix Tshisekedi face to face for a dialogue. For a long time, Felix Tshisekedi has been avoiding meeting or dialoguing with M23 because he looks at them like the tools of Rwanda, of Paul Kagame. But now that his feet are on the ground, but his back is on the wall, he has no choice but to negotiate with the M23. That's what happened with the peace initiative that took place in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, this past week. So M23 has been asked to sue for peace, let the ceasefire reign, open the airport again so that there's traffic, because Goma is a major hub with over 2 million people. But M23 with Rwandan forces killed over 3,000 of these people and they wounded so many thousands others. In fact, even South Africa has been very, very angry because South Africa had sent forces to Congo DRC to try to stem the tide of this M23 and Rwandan forces. But they failed. Over 14 South African soldiers were killed. As a result, Cyril Ramaphosa was very, very angry. There was a war of words between Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa with Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Are they going to go to war? Well, it remains to be seen. But South Africa has a whole lot of pressure going on. Paul Kagame is not the only one exerting pressure on South Africa. Donald Trump is also exerting pressure on South Africa. Donald Trump is saying the land expropriation bill signed into law by Cyril Ramaphosa is not good. So Donald Trump is even asking white South Africans to leave South Africa and move to the United States. He will resettle them. But Donald Trump doesn't want black people to come to America. But he's accepting only white South Africans. Interestingly, the white South Africans told him, no, we don't want to leave South Africa and come to America. We're happy in South Africa. What a shame for Donald Trump. Then, of course, you have Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. The exit of French forces in Africa continues. A lot of African countries are asking France to take its soldiers away. They are tired of these colonial forces. They come there because they want to loot and steal the resources of Africa. We thought Alassane Ouattara is a colonial puppet of France. But he too, interestingly, has summoned the courage to tell Emmanuel Macron to close all the bases in his country. Pack and leave Ivory Coast. So now France is only focusing now on Djibouti, because wherever you go in Africa, France is not wanted. They say, France, leave, France, leave. That's what is happening. Then, of course, we take you next to Libya. Since the killing of Gaddafi, things have not been easy for Libyans, and especially other Africans. As you understand, most Africans use Libya as a transit point on their way to Europe. So a lot of migrants die in Libya. This week, we read a story of over 50 migrants who died and they were buried in mass graves. Those graves were dug. If we have a better country, our people will not be leaving to travel to Europe. They will not be dying on the way. They will not be dying at sea. They are dying at sea because of the problems we are facing now. So this is not good. So when we remember Gaddafi was not a saint, but he did a lot to help his people. Whenever we have strong leaders, these money mandarins from the West, they use people like Paul Kagame to torpedo our freedom. When you look at the example of Congo, which we just gave you before, Congo was a prosperous country. When I look back the way the country was formed, initially around the 12th century, you had the Congo Kingdom. Then later on in the 16th century, the colonial masters from Europe came. King Leopold was one of those, exploited the place. Then after the 1884 scramble for Africa, you had people breaking the country into pieces, stealing all the wealth. Upon independence, Lumumba became prime minister, Joseph Kasavubu became the president. But the Western forces played games to make them fight each other, then they killed Lumumba. When Lumumba came to the United States, I remember Eisenhower, the American president, asked him, are we still going to be getting minerals from your country the way we've been getting before? So Lumumba said, oh, I don't think so. You have to negotiate that. By saying that, Lumumba signed his own death warrant. Eisenhower decided that Lumumba must die. Lumumba must be physically eliminated. So that's how Patrice Lumumba died, and the problems in the Congo started. Since then, people have been saying that, oh, more and more people are dying. You've had the wars, the first war of the Great Lakes, the second war of the Great Lakes. Paul Kagame coming in now, he's a Western agent. Paul Kagame is not the only Western agent. Yoweri Museveni of Uganda is also another Western agent.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time-efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost-effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
People talk about the Bush War. He fought valiantly, deposed 2 dictators, Idi Amin and Milton Obote. But he himself has become the worst dictator. He's stealing the resources, because when you look at what is happening in Congo DRC, all these guys are bed dogs of America. They are looting the country. Then they're giving the spoil of their war to America and the other Western countries. So when you look at Yoweri Museveni, the lofty ideals that he propounded before he came to power, they are just a mirage. Look at Bobby Wine, maltreated every day. The people in Uganda are suffering. So after 2 dictatorships, you think that the people will have a form of rest. Yoweri Museveni is even a worse dictator. Then this problem in the Congo, you have to see the way the neighbors of Congo are playing. They are playing a double game. On the surface, Yoweri Museveni will give the impression that he's supporting Congo DRC. But the truth is, his real aim is to fight the ADF, people that he thinks are against him in Uganda. So he's not really interested. And we've also gotten intelligence that Yoweri Museveni is supporting the M23. So when you see the M23 emerging victorious, powerful, it's because they are getting help from a lot of big brothers. In my tribe, we have a saying, when you see a little bird dancing on a tree, know that its master drummer is hiding in the bush nearby. When you see M23 shining victorious, why is M23 vanquishing Felix Tshisekedi so easily? It's because after years of corruption and ineffective government, Congo lost its soul. Congo lost its army. Now, nobody wants to die for any dictator. The people got tired of Mobutu. They did not want to die for him anymore. Whenever Mobutu gave the money to go and buy arms, they did not buy arms. Then Mobutu also killed a lot of powerful generals. So the army became very weak, which is why when you see that a small country like Rwanda can fight and defeat Congo, how is that possible? Because Congo's neighbors are supporting M23. That's what is happening. So don't be surprised. Paul Kagame is a war criminal. He has been fighting war for a very long time. He was a refugee in Uganda. Then he led the army that moved into Rwanda to take over the country after the genocide of 1994. He led an army that took over Kigali and Rwanda. And we hear Paul Kagame is a CIA agent, so it's an American payroll. America finances him. So when you ask me, how is it that Felix Tshisekedi cannot do anything to an invading army? Because Felix Tshisekedi is weak. He's facing a very tough opponent. Even when he was making noise, oh, quand je gagne les élections, je vais faire la guerre à Kagame. I told you guys, I just laugh. Le gars n'a pas la force. Il va faire la guerre comment? Il va faire la guerre avec qui? I told you. So that's what is happening. The next, Namibia. Well, in Namibia, Sam Nujoma just died at 95. This is a guy who led his country to independence. This country suffered a whole lot before becoming independent, I think in 1990. So we really praise him. He was the one who led his country to independence. He formed SWAPO, and under SWAPO, he was able to take over the country and led the country to freedom. So may his soul rest in peace. We look at him. This is the age of the freedom fighters. We don't see their like anymore. All the freedom fighters have disappeared. We need new people, new blood, new energy. We need the youth of today to start dreaming to become the new freedom fighters. Okay? Then what about Nigeria? We're going to end our show today with Nigeria. Nigeria is a research-rich country. When Farrakhan talks about Africa with talent, Nigeria has a lot of talent, a lot of brains. But they're all running away from Nigeria and going to Europe and America in search of greener pastures. The only thing left is crime, illegal mining, kidnapping. Those are the businesses that are really thriving in Nigeria this week. When we look at this, crime is paying. Bola Tinubu, we know you are a gangster, but turn things around. Make crime not to pay. That's the message we have for you for this week. If we don't follow the advice we've given on this show, then America will continue using bed dogs, agents, to loot the natural resources of Africa. Do you want America to continue looting our resources? If your answer is no, so let's come up with a plan to stop the loot of Africa. Bye-bye.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.